At the heart of the Amazon, where the sun struggles to pierce the dense canopy and the whispers of the jungle tell ancient legends, there lived an indigenous tribe called the Yawari. Their village, nestled along the banks of a winding river, was a haven of peace and harmony with nature. At the center of the village stood a majestic tree, taller and older than all the others. The Yawari called it the Tree of 1,000 Lights, for every night its leaves glowed with countless lights, like stars fallen from the sky. Legend said that this tree was a gift from the gods, a bridge between the world of spirits and that of humans. A young woman named Ayera, blessed with an insatiable curiosity and a pure heart, was fascinated by the Tree of 1,000 Lights. She spent long hours observing it, listening to the stories the elders told about it. One day, an old man of the village, the wise Kware, entrusted her with a secret. The Tree of 1,000 Lights was dying. Its lights were slowly fading, and with them, the harmony of the jungle. Kware explained to Ayera that only the heart of the jungle, a legendary flower that bloomed only once every 100 years, could save the tree. But the flower was hidden deep within the forest, guarded by mythical creatures and unknown dangers. Without hesitation, Ayera decided to set out in search of the heart of the jungle. She knew the fate of her people, and the forest rested on her shoulders. Accompanied by her faithful jaguar Aru, she plunged into the darkness of the jungle, guided by Kware's instructions. Their journey was filled with obstacles. They crossed rivers infested with piranhas, climbed steep mountains, and escaped the claws of fierce creatures. Yet Ayera, driven by her determination and love for nature, never gave up. After many long weeks of travel, they finally reached the place where the heart of the jungle was said to bloom. There, they discovered the flower was guarded by a giant serpent, an ancient guardian of the jungle's heart. With cunning and courage, Ayera managed to distract the serpent while Aru stealthily stole the flower. Back in the village, Ayera placed the heart of the jungle at the foot of the Tree of 1,000 Lights. The flower released an intoxicating fragrance, and the tree began to shine with 1,000 lights, brighter than ever before. The jungle regained its harmony, and the Yawari celebrated Ayera's courage, the young woman who had saved their world. The legend of Ayera and the Tree of 1,000 Lights was passed down from generation to generation, reminding all of the importance of protecting nature and believing in the power of love and courage. The return of Ayera and Aru was celebrated with songs and dances that echoed through the jungle. The Tree of 1,000 Lights, once again resplendent, seemed to vibrate with joy, its shimmering leaves casting intricate patterns upon the forest floor. The Yawari tribe regained its serenity, but they knew the fragile balance of their world had been disturbed. Kware, the wise elder, explained to Ayera that the heart of the jungle had not only revived the tree, but had also awakened ancient forest spirits. These spirits, long dormant, were both benevolent and unpredictable, and their awakening could bring unexpected changes. Soon, the jungle began to transform. Unknown plants emerged, strange animals appeared, and rivers changed their course. The Yawari, accustomed to the stability of their environment, had to adapt. Ayera, with her deep knowledge of the forest, played a crucial role in this transition. She taught her people how to identify new plants, understand the behavior of unfamiliar animals, and navigate altered rivers. She became a guide, a mediator between the Yawari and the forest spirits. Yet tensions arose. Some feared the changes and longed for the old ways, while others were fascinated by new possibilities. One day, a group of Yawari led by a young man named Itsa decided to seek the origin of the forest spirits, believing that understanding them was the only way to restore balance. Aware of the dangers, Ayera chose to accompany them. Their journey led them deep into uncharted lands where spirits manifested with great power. They encountered mythical creatures, guardians of ancient secrets, and discovered places where time itself seemed to stand still. At the end of their journey, they reached a clearing where an ancient monolith stood, carved with mysterious symbols. Kware, who had studied these symbols in his youth, interpreted them. The forest spirits were guardians of the balance between worlds, and their awakening was a warning, a call for harmony. Aira realized that the true challenge was not to control the spirits, but to live in harmony with them. She shared this wisdom with her people, and together they learned to respect the jungle's new inhabitants, to cooperate with them, and to find a new balance. The Yawari became guardians of the jungle, protectors of its mystery. They understood that nature was not a resource to be exploited, but a living being, a partner in the dance of life. And Aira, the young woman who had saved the Tree of 1,000 Lights, became a legend, a symbol of courage, wisdom, and harmony with nature. The peace the Yawari had regained was short-lived. One day, men from afar arrived in the jungle with noisy machines and dark intentions. They sought riches, precious wood, and land to exploit. To them, the forest was merely a resource to plunder, its beauty and fragility ignored. The Yawari, guardians of the jungle, stood against these invaders. They explained the forest's importance, its role in the balance of the world, and the danger of destroying it. But the men did not listen. They continued their advance, cutting down trees, polluting rivers, and hunting animals. Aira, with courage and wisdom, led the resistance. She organized the defense of the forest, using hidden paths and survival techniques to slow the invaders' progress. She called upon the forest spirits for help, and together they created illusions, traps, and obstacles to protect their land. The men were many and powerful, armed with firearms and machines that destroyed everything in their path. The Yawari, armed with bows and spears, were outnumbered, but they did not surrender. They fought with determination, defending every tree, every river, every piece of their land. The struggle was long and painful. Many Yawari fell, but their sacrifice was not in vain. Their courage inspired other jungle tribes to join the resistance. Together, they formed an alliance, a united front against the invaders. Aira, now a symbol of hope and resistance, led her people to victory. Exhausted and discouraged, the invaders eventually retreated, leaving behind a wounded yet living forest. With the help of other tribes, the Yawari began healing the damage. They replanted trees, cleaned rivers, and tended to injured animals. Their village was rebuilt, stronger and more united than ever. Aira, having saved both her people and her forest, became a legend. She was honored as the guardian of the new dawn, the one who showed the path of harmony and resistance. Her story was passed down through generations, reminding all that nature is a precious treasure and that protecting it is a sacred duty. And the Tree of 1,000 Lights, witness to this epic struggle, continued to shine each night, illuminating the jungle with its magical glow, a symbol of life forever triumphing over darkness.